everybody. Good evening. It is Carla Nicole. So, I want to welcome everyone this evening. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. Trust me, this is definitely the channel that will provide you with wisdom and all kinds of information regarding intimacy, relationships, love, interesting things that you're wanting to add to your love arsenal. So, again, this is Carla Nicole. I'm a wisdom coach. A little bit about me. I'm a single mom. I have two children. I have a daughter that is 19 and a son that is 10. And so today I just want to talk about um, sexual contentment. So a lot of times I talk about various different things about intimacy, but I definitely want to talk today about the power of knowing um, your sexual contentment. I mean, what is it exactly that um, you know about your sexual appetite? The reason I say that this is important is because, regardless of if you are in a relationship right now or not, it's vitally important that you know your sexual appetite. And then on top of that, what point in your sex life are you fully content? Have you ever had a time when you were content? Um, these are self-reflective things you want to start to pay attention to kind of see if your sexual contentment can even be met. Because sometimes, I mean, we may just never know that. And I think that it's important that we do take our time out to really focus on learning about our own sex drive. In other words, what drives our sexuality, our sex life? What drives it? Well, I was speaking earlier today to my daughter, as a matter of fact, and we were just talking about how, we actually naturally progress into our own sexuality. So when we grow into our puberty and then into our adulthood, and then, we become attracted to, the sex of our choice, we begin to um, find ourselves moved by um, different attributes, different physical attractions, and things of that nature that causes us to get, sexually moved. I mean, it's just what it is, right? So when we have that, when we have those moments of time when we're finding ourselves very intrigued by um, whatever we're moved by sexually, it happens naturally, right? But have you really sat down and thought about what is it that moves me sexually? And then, okay, I have an appetite. Now we can talk about, I've talked about the sexual appetite, and I've talked about how, sexually we can just have this desire to want to be, um, you know, uh, a intimate engagement. And I think it just happens naturally, right? But that's true. But if we don't take the time to really pay attention to what it is we so desire, then a lot of times we miss the importance of knowing what drives our sex. When are we actually content? Are we ever content? And if not, what is it that's driving us to our contentment? And have we even thought about it? Are we to a point in our life that and I think every person in their lifetime gets to a point where they're like, you know what? I've had quite a few rendezvous, or I've had many different partners, and now I'm just really trying to settle it down, um, and just get, in a relationship and get into something that has a little more stability. And so when we do that and we decide to go um, to that space of wanting to be within a relationship, a lot of times we don't really think about what is it that I need or desire in a person that I want to be in a sexual engagement with. But first, it's vitally important that we take the time to know what we need. What is it we desire? What is it we truly need? And so I wanted to talk about this because I think it's important. What is it that you need and desire? Because if we don't really sit down and pay attention to what it is we really need, we will find ourselves partnering or choosing the partner choice um, that we have long term, and it may not match what we truly need, nor will it match our sexual contentment. And a lot of times we need to know what is it that really sexually moves us. And, I say to women all the time, especially my clients, I tell them, I say, well, how do I know if he's going to be sexually present? How do I know that? How do I know what type of lover he's going to be long term? Well, I always say, what's his story? What's his story? What's his story? History. Oh, history, huh? Yeah, history. A gentleman can tell you a lot based upon his past. You can learn a lot about a lover based upon their past experiences. Um, Although some people's past may not reflect who they are now because they may have had quite a few, or maybe they had some that were kind of turbulent. But when you talk to them about what they did in a past relationship, and gentlemen, if you are in a relationship with a lady and you want to know her story, check out her story. History. History is the best predictor of future. So if we take a look at, well, what was she like in the bedroom of her old lover? And the thing about it is, you can get a snapshot of somebody's past experiences without probing. You can get a lot of information from somebody just talking about their previous love affairs. Number one, if you want to know if someone um, truly is into intimacy, they tell you about how much intimacy they have, or if it wasn't enough, or the person's always wanting to have sex, and oh my God, it seemed like they just never got off of me. I was just so over it. You'll learn just from that snapshot because history tells you a lot, man. We have to get away from assuming that just because, you know, we want to have someone in our life, they have to have a certain there has to be a certain understanding, or I should say overstanding, of who they are as far as what they can provide you when it comes to sexuality. And a lot of times we really don't talk about this because nobody really can say, well, I've come to a point where I really want to be intimate. And that's fine. But I mean, what can we do to make sure that you intimately choose someone that is going to match your desire and what you so choose to want to be with in a positive light? How are we going to figure that out? Well, it comes to a point where you have to sit back and say, you know what? I really want somebody that I can truly appreciate. I really want someone that wants to be intimate at least this frequent through the week, or however, whatever your duration of time through the day or whatever. But we also have to look at, again, going back to history. When were you ever content sexually? Were you ever content sexually? That's a question that only you can answer. And if you're really unsure, then you need to sit back and think of a time where, if you never had that, then what do you think it will take to make you really sexually content? And then, not to mention, there's certain factors in your sexual desires that can actually keep you from really jumping ship from someone or supplementing with someone else because this person isn't doing enough for you. There's certain things that you want to take a look at in your sex life to where you can actually improve it just based upon how good it feels. I mean, when you have a sexual partner that is continually um, in action and someone that really understands you, then you find that it's more enjoyable and the sexual appetite becomes more desired. It is because there's no longer this prolonged worry about, well, I don't know if this person wants to be with me or not, and I'm not sure, and all this stuff that a lot of times we are overstanding and getting all caught up in when we could actually have a desired sex life. It takes basic things. Number one, you knowing you. Number two, you having a desire to get to know them. Your lover or the person that you desire to be with and partner with has to have certain things that can sustain your sex drive. If they don't have that, then it comes to a point where you're like, you know what? I can't make this person my full time partner. I can't make this person my lifetime partner. I can't make this person a wife or a husband. They just don't they just don't cut the mustard. So at this point, I need to make sure that I am mindful of the fact that, hold on a minute, I need to make sure that what I need is supplied. But in order to do that, I need to know what it is that's going to keep me content. And like I said, the best way to learn contentment and what it is you so desire is to truly sit back and pay attention to what your sex drive is. Do a sex journal. When are you sexually moved? When are you touching yourself or self-pleasing? Are you self-pleasing in the morning more often, more frequently, in the afternoon? What are your self-pleasures? When are you doing them? Are you doing them? Are you doing them to supplement from a lover that you're with? Self-pleasure is fine, but are you self-pleasing to supplement or are you self-pleasing because of sexual desire? You're wanting to release. You're needing it because you have a desire to be sexual and that person is unavailable. Again, these are questions you want to ask yourself when it comes time to desiring who you want to be with. And in order to have a better, more substantiated, more powerful, and more enjoyable sex life, you have to make sure you choose a partner that is able to either keep up with you or either someone that's wanting to pretty much match what your drive is like as much as possible. Of course, nobody's perfect. So sometimes there's going to be a partner that maybe can't do everything that you desire. And I get that. But would you be content with that? And if not, what would you be content with? Again, these are questions you have to ask yourself. So I hope I helped somebody today. Be sure to share this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. It's Carla Nicole Wisdom Channel. I discuss different things about intimacy. And in order for us to improve intimacy, we must be honest and open with self. In order to do that, we have to advance and think about some things that we can do to make things better in the bedroom. We open our eyes every day to our life, okay? And so what we see in our life is what we see because of what we're allowing. So when you're opening your eyes every morning to a life that you're not happy with, you have the power to change it. You are the executive producer in your life, and that includes your sex life. So if your sex life isn't doing or isn't up here, then you must change it. You must come up with a way to figure out how to make it better. I'm just saying. So, like I said, I'm Carla Nicole. I'm a wisdom coach. I am definitely a coach with a unique perspective, and I always bring a twist of wisdom to it. That's what I do. Okay? So, I'm out of here. Again, if you need any help or any questions about your sex life, or your libido is low, or you have intimate issues going on, don't hesitate to reach out. I have an 800 number, very easy to remember. It's 844 5 Wisdom, extension 0, and ask me about my services. I have plenty out here to help you enhance your sex life. I have herbal tinctures and all kinds of stuff I'm a distributor of. I also do, wisdom coaching. I help people with improving their sex life with different types of techniques that I help all of my clients with. One of my techniques is called the rise and fall technique. I have another one I haven't even released yet called the push-up technique. So there's various different things. I also do fruit demos personally for those that need a little assistance with helping with making their intimate life better. So again, if you need me, shout out. It's all why I'm here. Make sure to share this video, everybody. I'm out of here. Good night and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. It's Carla Nicole. I'm signing off. Best kept. Have a great night. Bye.